Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're hailing from. Welcome to another episode of OpenShift Container Storage Office Hours. I am Chris Short, Principal Technical Marketing Manager here at Red Hat, also the executive producer of this thing we call OpenShift TV. I'm joined today by the one and only Chris Bloom. Sorry, damn it, I do that every time. Chris Bloom, the storage guru to the stars, I'll call him. How's it going today, Chris?
Very good. I'm in a Christmas mood.
Yes.
Baked some Christmas cookies this weekend, so I'm
lovely.
all there.
Nice, very nice. I actually forgot to turn my decorations on, so hang on a second. Alexa, office decor on. See, that's how I do it. And bam, there's my Christmas tree. All right.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, we actually have all of our lighting, Alexa off. All of our lighting is now voice controlled, like all of it. So like you can just say dingus, Merry Christmas, and like boom, everything will just come on all at once. It's pretty awesome.
That reminds me, so next week or next show, I need to try out the dolphin attack on your Alexa, I guess. So you can do ultrasonic, people can't hear it, but the devices can hear it, and then you can send commands to the devices in the background.
But I'm wearing headphones. Would that still cut through is the question.
No, probably not.
I mean, it might be. If it's ultra high frequency, like you say it is, it could.
But I would need to make it so loud that
I would hear it.
That's probably not. That's probably not too healthy.
Yeah. All right.
Let's not do that then.
No, let's not do that. But maybe some other time. Actually, during meetings, one of the people that helps with OpenShift TV has the same name as that device behind me. So meeting with her is always super fun. And some of the best bloopers I've gotten was we tried to record like a short 5-minute thing. It was just this thing going off, my son running around in the background. It was just like a disaster just to get like 5 minutes. It took like an hour. It was pretty funny. And I think I've shared some of those on Twitter before, but I can share them again. So what do you got cooking for us today, Chris?
Well, today is a very special event because we have a little quiz prepared for you.
Yeah.
And I'll just share my screen real quick, and then you can dial in to that quiz.
Yes.
And once we have a couple of people there, then we'll start the quiz.
Also, I'll be taking this quiz as well because, as we say in the description of this show, I am the storage buffoon, novice, idiot, something like that. Yeah. So yeah.
You can compete against Chris.
You can compete against me for bragging rights.
Yeah. And this should be fun.
Yeah, this should be okay. Let's see. Okay, that's me. Enter your name. I'll put my real name here. There we go. Okay, so only 2 people. There's 28 of you on right now. I know you can play.
Yeah, so
if you're on an iDevice, you have picture-in-picture now.
Yeah, you go to Menti.com and you use the code to dial into the quiz, and it will be interactive.
Yes, you'll be able to just do it right there in your browser. I'm going to pull that tab out so I actually have it.
And
good morning,
don't worry
Stephen
about the delay.
PCO.
So
yeah, the delay
the
is
question before you see it in a stream. So watch your own device, and then you'll see the question immediately.
Yes, exactly. There is a short delay between what we're doing here, between Chris and I, and what actually ends up live online. So as more people pile in, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. We've done this before. All right. I wish that number was shorter because I could not memorize that for some reason. Also, it's early for me.
Well, you don't have to memorize it.
That's true. I don't. I just need to move this window out of the way enough.
And you can do that on your computer, on your phone, whatever you need to.
Like any device you want.
Just go there. It's a very simple interface. And the question, we have 10 questions. It's rather easy to select them on a touch device.
Yeah. So also, you're playing for bragging rights for beating Chris Short. I am not a storage expert by any means, and we can talk more about that later. But the idea here is that you're going to learn something along the way, probably, and you will get the bragging rights of I won the storage quiz of December, whatever today is, the 4th, 3rd, sorry, and it'll just be fun, right? Like it's just fun.
Yeah, at least for me, it's fun.
All right, I think that's about what we're going to get.
You have about 20 seconds to answer the questions. Some questions with a lot of text are 30 seconds. And the quicker you answer, the more points you get. So,
oh, what is that? Something just popped up. Oh, you got to pop up on your screen there for a second.
Yeah, let me disable notifications.
Oh, there you go.
That'll Messenger. Do it. How about that? Okay, then let's start. We have 9 people.
All right.
What should happen?
Okay, answer fast to get more points.
So we're looking for what does MCG stand for in an OCS cluster?
Mm-hmm. OCS standing for Open Container Storage.
Wow.
All right.
Very good. So most people selected the right thing.
Good job.
You will see if you're right or wrong on your own device. Let's continue to the second question. So now we're looking for the access patterns. Is it read-write once, read-write many, or both for an RBD-based persistent volume?
And I forgot, to be honest with you. So I am the RWO answerer because I was mucking with storage yesterday trying to get something working, and I just gave up on it because I knew I was going to be on the air with you today.
So actually, you can have RWX, RBD-based PVCs, if you select the block mode option. So
awesome. So congratulations, everyone. You're probably beating me now. So now I got to really play.
Well, minimum amount of this across all nodes. 1, 2, or 3.
All right.
There's always one person who selects the wrong answer. But I see that the question appeared to be too easy.
OCS replicates across availability zones. So this is yes
like
or no?
In a public cloud.
Yeah,
like AWS. Okay. Does it do that automatically?
This is assuming you have clusters or nodes in other zones kind of deal, yeah.
And yes, OCS does that. And actually, it also does that in non-public clusters, so like on-premise. But you will need to make sure that your nodes have the right node labels so that OCS will detect in which availability zones the nodes are in. But theoretically, you can have that like even in VMware or bare metal.
Right. Awesome. Question number 5, y'all. OBC stands
Another acronym.
for. Open but closed. I like that answer. Good job, everybody. Well done.
Good job.
Open but closed. Beautiful. Which operator is known as a meta operator?
In the OCS sphere. So we do have 3 operators, and one of them is also sometimes referred to as the meta operator. That's probably one of the harder questions. But yeah, 7 people got it right. OCS operator is also called the meta operator because it's not actually doing a lot of things. It's controlling the rook and the nuba operator, and that's why we call it the meta operator.
Yeah, it's an operator of operators. Yeah, and a lot of our partners are starting to realize that is often a good pattern because their software relies on another piece of software that has to be present and configured correctly. So they'll build, quote, a meta operator to install both their software and their dependency.
All right, question 7.
Which storage class?
RWX file system PVCs.
That one, I have no idea.
So RWX read write many file system PVCs.
Yes, I got that one. I thought it was Ceph. I knew it wasn't Nuba. RBD
well,
always.
CFS is the distributed file system, and
right.
With that you can create RWX file system PVCs. With RBD you can create RBD block PVCs, and with Nuba you can create the object bucket claims, or
right.
From the question, it's open but closed, but no.
Yes.
So the object stuff, which has nothing to do with the file system.
OCS
what does
external
OCS
mode.
external mode mean? I got a little bit more time this time to read all the answers.
Yeah. You did not make these easy one. The answer is easy either, right? Like these are all kind of potentially right. Connecting to, oh, I got that right. Boom.
Yeah, so with OCS external modes, you can have a Ceph cluster that runs outside of OpenShift, and then you connect the OCS, which runs inside of OpenShift, to leverage the storage from that Ceph cluster inside of OpenShift. So you're bringing in the storage from the outside, not pushing it outside or using something in the cloud. This is yeah.
Nice. Sorry, I'm looking down to type. I should just use the window that's here to type. Sorry. All right, here we go. An external Ceph cluster can be used by multiple OCS instances. No idea.
Very good. 9 people got it right.
Good.
So yeah, when you have an external Ceph cluster and you connect it with OCS external mode, theoretically you can connect multiple OpenShift clusters to the same external Ceph cluster. We do get that question often.
Well, I would imagine a lot of people have their Ceph clusters on crazy amount of disk, like super JBOD type thingy.
Yeah.
Some kind of storage array, right? All right, here we go.
Last question.
Is OCS included with OpenShift subscriptions? This one I do know.
OCS is not included. That's an extra subscription, an extra cost, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if you need set it and forget it kinds of storage, which OCS gives you in many, many different ways, right? Like if you want all the options of storage available to you in a much more navigable way for, cloud native storage, at least, OCS is the right way to go for sure.
All right, so let's see how everything turned out.
Ooh, I came in third. Wow, way to go, Frank and Daniel. Dang, that's awesome.
Christmas, Frank.
Good job.
Yeah, good job. So you officially earned the bragging rights.
Yeah.
And I would say, Daniel, you have also a little bit of bragging rights because you're so close.
Exactly, right? Like
a couple of milliseconds.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good, y'all. Great work, everybody.
Very good. Right. So
I'm going to share mine on Twitter just because I can. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so some questions here. DJ Foley
beat Darth Vader.
Nice. Yeah, beating Darth Vader, that's usually harder than, All right. So can you present Ceph to clusters outside of your OpenShift cluster running OCS? I'm assuming for example, I have an ops cluster running OCS and I want to present it to another cluster. So that Ceph storage that's in this one cluster, can you give it and share it to another cluster?
No. If OCS internal mode is used, then this is only for that cluster where it's running in. If you want to share your storage between clusters, then you would use the external mode. But this would share the capacity and the performance, not the data per se.
Yeah, so talk to me about all the different ways you can kind of bring storage into OCS, right? Like there's Ceph, RBD, right? Like for those that already have existing storage arrays, maybe they want to use them. What would you need to do to kind of bring that into OCS?
Yeah, so what we did for you, for example, is a very good example for how a lot of people are doing it. They just want some storage in their OpenShift cluster, and they usually turn to the internal mode. And then they can go ahead and just use the internal mode with their disks. The disks are present locally, and it doesn't really matter where they come from if they're actually local. The only thing we want to ensure is that these disks that you present to OCS internal are flash disks, so SSDs or NVMEs. And we don't currently support the HDDs because we've seen problems with that. So especially when people hook up the OpenShift services, then you need the performance.
Right. Like I have seen problems with just running OpenShift on spinning disk, right? The latency hit is just so high that even etcd can't, keep itself running kind of deal. So yeah, like SSD or better, please, I think is the right answer here. So JP.
Yeah, there was a question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
If we do have a testing article,
a benchmarking thing. I know we're working on one. Like for OpenShift overall.
A real article of blog post. I think at least we're working on that. I might need to have to get back on that later, but we do have a link. We call it the RIPSAW or the benchmark operator that you can install from Operator Hub. And with that, you can do your own tests. And it supports pretty much all of the well-known tools.
Right. Do you have a link to RIPSAW? I can find it real quick.
I just sent it to you.
Oh, you sent it to me? Oh.
Yeah, so that you can post it in the chat and whatever.
Oh, yeah. That's why my Slack beeped.
Maybe.
Well, like I keep all my external like thingy notifications out on my regular speakers, and only you come into my headphones. That way I don't get confused by dings, and my phone just rang, for example, so I had to put it in a dang Faraday cage bag. And yeah, streaming's fun.
Yes.
So let's talk about
the
benchmark operator.
And you have all kinds of workloads here, and you can run them. And the cool thing about that is it collects all the output in Elasticsearch, and then you can use Elasticsearch to draw your diagrams or do some post-processing of your data to then present it to your manager.
Right.
And that's what I did in the past too. Mostly I used Theo, obviously. And I've actually extended Theo so that it not only does benchmarking for VMs, for pods, but also for VMs. So you can start Cupid VMs and then run Theo in them and collect the performance of your storage for VMs versus pods.
Yes, I learned about Theo when I had to replace those HDDs in my server that I had with SSDs, because it just couldn't hack it. Yeah, so Theo is the fun tool. And if you want some documentation of Theo, there's a man page for it. IBM has a lot of documentation on it, because I think it was either who built Theo, I forget.
I don't remember.
It IBM?
I'm really
remember.
Bad with names, but yeah, it's a go-to tool for from our performance benchmarking team, and they also built this operator. And you have a CR, and even if you don't know about Theo, the options are, I think, pretty self-explanatory. So you have some block sizes, you can keep that. You have jobs where you say write, read, or run, write, read, or something like that. And then you can play around with it.
Yeah, I just dropped a link to the IBM article. Just basically teaching you how to use Theo to tell if your storage is fast enough for etcd, right? Like that same process can apply to anything, right? You just need to know what latency requirements that application that you're using has, right? So like etcd, it needs what, better than 10 milliseconds or something like that. So it says it in the article right there, but yeah, like I had to go through that process to definitively prove, right? Like I need to spend the money to replace these hard drives. And you might need to do the same inside your VM that you're building inside of, OpenShift, because who knows, right? Like your VM needs 10 milliseconds of latency, and you're using, maybe 5-year-old storage array or something, right? That's about to be replaced. You can then potentially say, hey, we need to replace this sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and it's a very good article, because it also solves a problem that we've actually seen in our testing as well, where we thought, okay, we can just run an OpenShift cluster for development or testing on any hardware, and then pretty soon we realized, etcd doesn't like that. And that's usually when things fall apart, and then you go back. And the IBM folks, it's a very good blog article.
It is a very good blog post. Like they give you
just follow it. It's very short. You just follow
it's quick and dirty, and then they explain all the bits and pieces. It's very nice.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
So
So I stalked Chris Short on Twitter the other day,
Oh boy.
and he was saying that we need to talk about storage again. And I was afraid that he broke his OCS cluster already.
No. That's not the case at all, sir. Actually, I kind of just gave up because I couldn't figure it out, and I uninstalled OCS. Just so my CPU, RAM, and everything else can be a little bit lower capacity, because I wasn't using it over the holiday. I was on PTO last week. I wasn't using that cluster at all. So I didn't have anything running on it yet because I didn't have any storage yet. So yeah, I just uninstalled it, but I had just finished reinstalling it. Let me actually, I can share my screen. Come on, Zoom, you can do it. I believe in you. Not desktop. There we go. I think that's right. Yep, that's right. Okay. Share? Are you going to share this? Do you see only the OpenShift container platform window, right?
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your storage cluster back up?
Yep. So no, not yet. We're going to run through that again real quick, just for folks, right? So I have the local storage operator installed. I have extra disks installed on VMs 4, 5, and 6. Those systems have enough RAM and enough CPU to run OCS. So we're going to select internal attached devices, storage class, we'll call this storage class 001. Well, since this is technically the second time I'm trying this. Why'd it go back? What the heck? No, really.
What
Should I
are
just pick
the
one?
storage classes that you have in there?
These are both like old ones from
Are they
previously.
still available?
I don't know.
Are the disks of the storage classes still available?
Yes.
Can
But
you
they're
show
no
me the
provisioner.
persistent volumes?
Wait, which one? Hang on. There we go. Local PV, local PV, local PV. So those are all right. There's no claim on them.
Yeah, can you click on any one of these? I want to see which storage class they are allocated to. LVS 000.
Okay.
Okay. Now
just use
let's
that?
use that storage class.
Okay. No, installed operators. Create instance, internal, LVS. Oh, yeah, there they are. Ta-da. Okay. Create. Progressing. All right, let's see here. Events. No events, details. Is there a way to watch this happen somewhere?
What I tend to do is I usually just watch the pods.
Oh, okay. Go down here. That's not the pod, right?
Yeah, you go to workloads pods.
Oh, duh. Well, I took a week off. Yeah, it seems like I just lost my damn mind. You type in storage. Was that pop up there? Goes in the. All right. Let's see. I'm not seeing it. Local storage operator. Help me filter. What am I looking for?
Oh, they're all running. That's. Oh, can you, instead of all projects, go to OpenShift Storage?
Oh, duh. Right. That's what I was supposed to search for storage for. No, come on, hand.
Right.
And it, there we go. This, yep, they're plugging along, it looks like.
So I think your main question, if I understood what you said earlier, was you want to understand how you can leverage OCS to run VMs, right?
Right. Like I want to use OpenShift virtualization. I want, all the bells and whistles that OCS and OCP can give me, which includes, OpenShift virtualization. So there is a VM for an old application that I used as an example many years ago. I spoke at GopherCon, like as a quote newbie kind of like programmer. And I was like, listen, I had this problem. I solved it with 34 lines of Go, and I want to keep that project active. It's, an SSL testing tool, but I want to, like there's articles written about it. There's a repo and everything. So I want to actually have something using this tool to just say, hey, yes, your certs are good, and active on the web. But right now it's sitting on an NVIDIA, one of those NVIDIA Nano things over there. I would like to create a small VM and throw it in my cluster. So I need storage for that.
Well, if it's a Go program, and
well,
I don't want to just
no,
just
hang on. I don't want to
tell you
containerize it. Okay, there's reasons. Okay, trust me.
what I wanted to say is you probably want to try out serverless. So actually, a
Well,
new
maybe.
serverless version was just released, and Go is a language that lets you use serverless very easily.
That's true, but I have other operating system dependencies and things like Let's Encrypt are involved. So, yeah, it works well on a VM. I'll just say like that. Let's put it like this: it's kind of a project that I don't want to work on anymore, but I still want to prove that it does work. Does that make sense? Right?
Sure. No, I mean there are multiple reasons why you don't want to use serverless or put it in a container, and it's just an example. That's fine. But I wanted to mention it because a lot of people are not aware that there was just an update to the serverless things. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is there was just an update to OpenShift virtualization. So.
Yes.
That I got quite excited when I read about the new update because this update will allow you to create OS images. So you have a template. You as an admin can create a template for a Windows VMs, and then your OpenShift users can very easily just use that template when they start your VMs. All right, that looks quite well. Nuba pods are up and running, and that usually means that they are consuming their own storage. And yeah, very good.
Okay.
So that was the OCS install. And as if you've watched the first couple of episodes of this office hour, you know how far Chris Short has come when he can just do that on the side. And Chris, you just started when we basically started this recording, right? So
yeah, I mean, like my
half an hour on the sides.
Yeah, basically, right? Like, no, after we finished the quiz is when I started installing the operator, right? So literally it set itself up in a few minutes while we were taking the quiz, and we just gave it local storage in a few minutes, 5 minutes, I think. And yeah, like you have storage that's right there and ready to consume. Now I need to consume it.
Yeah, ready to consume. So let's go to the virtualization tab.
Okay.
So do you have any ISO or VM templates?
No. I have an ISO nearby, right? Like handy kind of deal.
All right. So let me get a link. I actually did a quite handy short video on how to install Windows on a VM in OpenShift. I'm just going to add that link to the Slack, and then Chris can post
it everywhere. Yeah, like the 1-2 punch of sharing
And I go through what we're doing, and then I set up a VM just like what we're going to do with Chris, and I'll show you in all details how to do the virt control things and why and what options and all. So if you want something that sums this up, then watch that. It's 14 minutes, and you can pause and scroll and whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're going to do exactly the same thing right now. Chris, do you have virt control on your terminal?
Have virt control? Good
It's
question.
a CLI tool. It's in the Red Hat repositories if you can find it, but and they also have that in the upstream in the Qubit repository.
Let me SSH into that box real quick. Oh, you're just not.
And they release versions for Windows, OS X, and Linux.
Oh, there's an OS X version? I'm sorry. Where did you say it was?
Worse. Another link in your Slack.
Beautiful.
Right there.
Ah, yes. For folks playing at home, here's the link. Now I'll click it. Yes, I do implicitly trust links from you. So
is that you scroll down to assets? Maybe use a stable version. Oh, we can also trust
this
them.
is the latest release. So
yeah, latest release sounds good. And then you can take the virt control Darwin.
There we go. All right. Well, that's just an executable, right?
I haven't tried the macOS version. For Linux,
Guess we're about to find out.
It's just a binary you can execute. I think it's also written in Go.
Yeah, I'll just wait for it to download and then move it to user local bin and be done here in a second. Okay, so copy Cuddle to user. No, oh, come on. User local bin. Tab completion is being extra fancy today. All right, so crap, I forgot to rename it. Go on to user local bin and rename it from that really long thing. Move virt cuddle. Just TTL. There we go. Done. All right. Okay, so I have virt cuddle. Do you want me to share this window or not?
Yeah, share the terminal, and then we can upload the ISO.
New share. Where be our terminal? There we go. All right. Is that legible?
I don't see it.
You don't see it? I hate screen sharing with Zoom.
I'm still looking at your browser.
Yeah, I love how I said, no, really, select that thing and share. Now it should be.
Yep, now I see the terminal. Please increase the font size.
Got it. No, really. Oh. There we go. Okay. Good?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so virt cuddle.
If it's not good for you, just write in the chat, and then I'll
yeah, just let us know.
Make it even faster, larger.
Ooh. Okay. Permission denied virt cuddle. Oh, I know why. Not. Oh, and my phone's ringing again somehow. God, it's just so much fun this morning. All right.
Okay, with virt control, we can do most or even a little bit more things than what we can do with the web UI. And it's great for those people that that want to use the command line or automate things. So what we're doing now is we're going to upload the ISO that Chris has into a data volume that is backed by a PVC of OCS. So we're using the image upload command. If you just do image upload, it will.
Oh, I don't get tab completion. That's lovely. Okay.
Do image upload -h, and then we'll see the help. So there are some examples. The help pages are pretty well written for this tool. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to do vid control, image upload, DV, and then some kind of name that makes sense for ISO. And that will be the name of the data volume. And we will need to mention the upload proxy URL and an image path. And we'll set a couple of extra things for OCS.
Okay, so DV, Fedora server DV, that's what we're going to be uploading.
So
give it the image.
Before we go too far, we need the upload proxy URL. And the easiest way to do that is to use your OC command. So do OC get route dash n OpenShift dash CV.
I knew better. There we go.
All right, and this host port combination, that is your URL. You just put HTTPS in front, and that should work.
Got it. Okay, so let's go back to this image upload. Dash upload proxy. If I can type URL HTTPS. And you said this one. Okay.
Can you do DV and the name of your data volume in the front before you set the options?
Okay. DV.
No, after image upload, but before upload proxy URL.
After image. Got it. Okay. DV. Fedora. Server. DV. Okay.
All right, go, yeah. And now you need to add image path, a path to your ISO.
It's sitting on an external disk, but it's attached via USB 3, so that should be fine. No, really, volumes. Oh, okay. I like this.
That's going to be interesting.
This is going to be a bear. Hang on. Let me just copy it over. Nothing to see here. Move along, move along. All right, copy Fedora server 33 to just my home directory. We'll make that easy.
The practical Andrew, and I do have my assumption which Andrew this is.
I know which Andrew that is.
Also discovers the proxy URL.
Oh, it auto discovers? It should? Okay, cool.
But now we have it.
Fair point. So that path.
So you need that with Kubernetes, not OpenShift Container Platform. So
right. Hang on.
If you have Kubernetes, then...
yeah, if you have Kate's, just regular old Kate's, you'll need that. So this should be it once it's done copying, which we'll just have to wait and see how long that takes.
Yeah, we can finish the rest of the command.
Okay, I got the image path there.
So we're going to do access mode, -- access -- mode.
Mm-hmm.
And you set that to read only many. That will
like actually spell it out. Okay, read only many. Okay.
Exactly. And let's add a storage class. So dash storage class.
Is it storage? Yeah, storage dash class. Okay. And then.
And we'll use the OCS storage cluster Ceph RBD.
Whoa.
So OCS dash storage cluster dash Ceph dash RBD. And then add dash dash block volume so that we create a block PVC.
Is it, yeah, just block dash. Okay. And the copy's done, so we can fire away whenever you're ready.
Yeah, and just try that.
Oops. Does it not do the whole expansion of tilde?
Well, let's see if the practical Andrew has.
Okay, no. I'll just use the actual whole thing as opposed to shortening it. There we go. Oh, come on. Nope. I loathe you, Mac. My Mac keyboard does not like the shortcuts or whatever for line navigation. Okay, should be there. Ooh.
Okay. And let's add a size. Do you know how large the ISO is?
Let's see. It is. I could read 1.9 gigs. So we need at least 2 gigs there.
Yeah. So or do 3 gigs just to be sure.
Yeah.
It's been provisioned in Ceph anyways.
Right. What does it take? Okay, so 3 GBs. Yeah, GI. There we go. Okay. This is awesome. I hope we don't run out of time because DevNation's coming up next.
Well, then we'll just continue in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or you need to watch the video. So that's why what a good thing is that we.
Yeah, like I didn't know you had done this already, to be honest with you. I should search our YouTube better.
This is actually on our Red Hat Data Services channel. That's not on Red Hat.
That's well, see, it's hard for me to find stuff, right? Like everything's everywhere.
In the video, there's also some special steps that we need to do for Windows. So we use VIT-IO disk for the VM in OpenShift. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you need to install the driver in Windows before you're able to install it. And I'll show you how to do that in the video as well. For Fedora, we will not need to do that.
Right. And I have been completely ignoring chat as I've been typing. Let's see, so no questions. That's good. All right. So here's the problem with moving my office to upstairs. Everything going down to the server actually has to traverse wireless. So there's a wireless link to the wired link that is connected to the server. But yeah, sadly, the office has no hard line. So it has not been a problem for the streams. It just slows down transfers internally. That's all.
Yeah. You have 2 more minutes to talk about your life choices.
Yeah, my life choices. Yeah, let's see. So move
wireless life choices.
Wireless. Well, so I mean, wireless has come a long way, right? Like 5 years ago, you would never have been able to do this, you know, right? Like mesh networking wasn't a thing. Well, I guess 5 years ago, mesh was, but you know, until Wi-Fi meshes really became like the standard, you couldn't do stuff like this. What I'm doing in this house for sake, you know, like live streaming not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of gigabytes of, you know, content out every day would not be possible on older Wi-Fi networks. And thankfully now it is. So it's great to have the option of, hey, I can actually move my office and feel confident that this will work, right? Like there was a test involved in that. Move.
I'm on Wi-Fi too,
Right.
and it's rather funny because when so I live in a rented apartment here, and when they renovated it, they put Ethernet boxes or Ethernet connections in every room except this one room, and
Hmm.
and I think they planned it as a bedroom where
Right. And you
eventually
would
you
never
wouldn't
want a
need it.
Wi-Fi or wired cable in there ever.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Well,
But
I will say I did it right, right? Like I brought the access point into the office as close to the next access point as possible. There's a big switch back there. Everything in the office is hardwired to the access point, and then it's just on the mesh till it gets down to the office kind of deal.
okay.
So I did it as best as I could. All the I maxed out my internet speed, so that's all that really matters, right? Like if I can
Yeah.
push anything over, yeah, gigabit over coax, that's a new one on me.
Well, in some regions they do have that over coax, at least the download.
All right, cool, successfully uploaded, awesome. So now what?
Now I'm doing OC get DV, and you should see your data volume.
Ta-da! Look at that.
Succeeded. That's what we want to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you can basically go back to your web UI, and we can continue there.
Let me switch the screen share, find my web UI, wherever I put it, real quick. Hang on. There it is.
Now I know that Andrew is watching me, so I know that if I say something that's wrong, he will immediately correct me.
Quickly fix that. Yeah. All right. What do you see? Do you see the virtualization? Okay.
Very good.
Right.
Create VM, and we should
Well,
be.
I
Yeah,
want
in
to
which
put it
project?
in a new project for sure.
Well, you just already uploaded your DV, so your
Oh.
data volume is now wherever you. I don't
Hmm.
know. Is it in OpenShift storage, or where is it?
It doesn't say. Let's see.
Do an OC project. It usually uses the project that OC is currently in.
See project. No project has been set. Fun.
Then it's probably in the default project. We can look for the PVC. It also creates a PVC, and if we
Okay.
find that, then we find
Well, it's
it's
definitely
not
not
there.
there. Okay. Let's see. All projects. Where is it?
Default.
It is in default. Okay. Fine. I'll put it in default. That's fine. I don't care. I can get fancy with it later.
Go back to virtualization.
Yeah.
Create a VM with the
Can
wizard.
we do it with the wizard? Yeah. Okay.
I love the wizard. It's really well written. So yeah, fill that out.
Mm-hmm. Operating system 31 or higher. Boot source. An existing PVC. Interesting. Okay. Select flavor. I'll say small. Then workload server.
Go next.
All right. Let's see.
That's fine.
That should be fine.
Now we will add a disk.
Aha. Okay. See, I never would have gotten this far. Add a disk. Existing.
Yep.
Store. There we go. Vert.io disk. CD-ROM.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah. I haven't really figured out what the type field is for. This is new.
Okay. I'll just leave it at
maybe Andrew can tell us in the chat.
Yeah, I mean,
but That's fine. I click on add, and then we
Yeah.
will add one more disk because this is now the install ISO. So we will
Right,
boot
like the
from
install
this
ISO is
once.
attached. There's a cloud init disk, which we're not going to really use. And then now we need like the actual disk, right? So it's going to be blank.
Yeah, it's blank, and
Disk
just
one's
use.
fine. I'll use like, I don't know, what does Fedora server need? 40 gigs? Screw it. Who cares? And then storage class, I will say what? Ooh.
Let's use RBD.
RBD.
Yep, that one. And click on advanced and set that to block and
Right
to
menu.
RWX.
Yep.
We want RWX so that we can live migrate the VM later on.
Nice. And yeah, I definitely want that feature.
And,
all right.
Yeah, that's good.
That's it. Hit next. Oh, please select the boot
Oh,
source.
yeah, the boot disk.
Oh, duh. Hello. Now we can go. I'm not really going to use that, but I don't think it actually, I think it actually comes up as a live CD, but I'll copy that into my buffer and put it somewhere anyway. But yeah.
Actually, with the new version of OpenShift virtualization, it will detect that you set it like this, and it will tell you about the password when you watch the console, which is also a very cool feature.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Start virtual machine on creation. Create virtual machine. You ready?
Yeah,
okay?
that should be fine.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. See virtual machine details. Launcher pod error. That's not good.
0 of 9 pods are available. Ooh.
What does that mean?
Is it possible that you haven't forwarded the virtualization features?
I don't even know what that means. So yes.
So we're talking nested virtualization now, right?
Yeah. Well, yes, technically this is nested, but it's on bare metal. The VMs sit on an actual physical server.
Yeah, but now it's running. Have you allowed your VMs to do nested virtualization? Apparently, because it's running now.
Yeah. I didn't do anything special to them to allow it.
And go to console.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Hey, look, there it is.
There it is. And there's the show password button, and that will show you what we've set in. So now you could use that to install Fedora and go forward with that. Another way, and I have to mention that because else Andrew is going to point
30
that
seconds. I'm just going to let you know, 30 seconds.
For the Linux stuff, we have cloud images on QCal, and you can use them, and they will understand the cloud init stuff. And then you don't have to go through the ISO installation, clicking through it, but you can just use the QCal as well, import that as a data volume as well.
Nice. I did notice that in some of the documentation where it was like, just use the volume. I'm like, I want to kind of do it the way I'm familiar with first, see how it goes. So now I've kind of got it under control. I'll take some notes here later and I'll be good to go. I'll know what to do next time. Not call you, call myself. I am smarter now. I have learned something today, and that's always a good thing. Because if I'm learning stuff, hopefully other people are too. You don't have to add it as a disk here, says Andrew. You can add the ISO in the next step or two. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So this thing appears to be booting. We appear to be done. I want to thank everyone that's joined us today. Stay tuned for Dev Nation, and then immediately following that, the In the Clouds with Red Hat Leadership is with Ashesh Badani, who is like my boss's boss. So head of cloud platforms, head of the person that says, you know, we're going to pick which project out of this wonderful landscape and put it into OpenShift. It's not necessarily his job, but he's in charge of the group that does that, right? Like, so it's going to be a fun interview. And it'll also be on the main Red Hat channel for the first time ever. We'll be streaming to that channel as well. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, audience. And we will see you here in a few hours or 1 hour.
And congrats to Frank again.
Yes, congrats. You beat me and also the other guy that beat me. Yes, both of you. Congrats. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
See you next time, everybody.